Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL news cycle over the past few days, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors, and maybe even some outright speculation about the Steelers making a splash in this year's trade market. But what's really heating up right now is the potential acquisition of Maxx Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, you heard that right. Maxx Crosby, one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the league, possibly heading to Pittsburgh. And if this deal goes down, it could be a total game changer for the Steelers' defense and their Super Bowl ambitions. Let's unpack this a little bit. The Raiders, sitting at 2-7 on the season, are clearly in a rebuild mode. They're struggling big time, allowing an average of 24. 4 points per game, which is pretty rough, especially for a team that once looked to be building something solid. But the Raiders aren't just giving up on this season. They're also trying to clear cap space, with a hefty $107 million in future cap room to work with. That's a sign they're looking to reset, rebuild, and maybe even reload with some fresh young talent. Now, for the Steelers, this is the kind of move that can elevate an already solid defense into an elite, relentless force. Crosby, a four-time Pro Bowler, has been a terror for offenses in Las Vegas. He's a guy who can change games just with his pass rush, leading the 2025 season with 23 solo tackles, 14 assists, and an impressive 5 sacks, plus 32 sack yards, an interception, and a very healthy PFF grade of 85, which puts him in the top 20 among edge rushers. What makes him even more valuable is his pressure rate of 18% and an EPA per sack of -2.5, meaning he's consistently creating chaos in the backfield. Crosby's career stats are equally impressive: 256 solo tackles, 147 assists, 64 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. And remarkably, he's been remarkably durable, with minimal injuries over the years, including 0 missed games in 2025. His run defense is elite, comparable to what we saw from Watt in 2022, and that kind of versatility makes him a perfect fit for what the Steelers need right now. Adding Crosby alongside Watt would create a duo that offenses simply can't handle. Imagine double teams on Watt, leaving Crosby to wreak havoc one-on-one. That's a nightmare for any quarterback. You have to understand the context here. The Raiders, even with their struggles, are holding on to Crosby for now. But the word on the street, coming from sources like Diana Rossini, suggests that Vegas might be willing to part ways, especially since they're prioritizing their quarterback and offensive line rebuilding efforts. The reasoning is clear. They're freeing up cap space, $20 million in savings, to focus on youth and development, especially after leaking 220 points in 9 games. It's a team in flux, and Crosby's contract is a big part of that puzzle. For the Steelers, this isn't just about adding another player, it's about making a statement. With around $15 million in cap space, Pittsburgh can make this move without too much hassle, especially considering the injury to Highsmith, which has left the edges a bit thin. Adding Crosby would address that need immediately, giving us a true edge presence that can complement Watt and bolster the entire defensive front. The impact of such a move would be seismic. Imagine Crosby and Watt lining up together, two of the league's most relentless pass rushers. If they're both healthy and firing on all cylinders, we could be talking about a combined 20-plus sacks this season, pushing the pressure rate well above 25%. This kind of duo would make the Steelers' defense an absolute nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, especially in cold playoff conditions. Not only would this improve our pass rush, but it would also cause more turnovers, projected to add around 10 more takeaways over the course of the season. That's the kind of defense that can carry a team deep into January, and the ripple effects don't stop there. With a dominant pass rush, the Steelers could see opposing offenses falling into predictable patterns, leading to more stops on third down and less time of possession for our opponents. Our defense would be turning pressure into points, and that's always a recipe for winning in the NFL. Plus, Crosby's double-team rate of around 21% shows that offenses are going to have to scheme specifically to handle him, which opens up opportunities for Watt and others to make plays. It's the kind of strategic advantage that can turn close games into big wins. And don't forget, the betting odds reflect this potential seismic shift. Right now, Steelers' Super Bowl odds are around plus 1,500, but with Crosby's addition, those odds could plummet to plus 700 or even lower. That's a huge boost, especially considering how much a player like Crosby can influence playoff outcomes. His presence on the field, especially in crunch time, gives the Steelers a real X-factor. Plus, with his ability to dominate the trenches like Garrett did in Cleveland this season, boosting that Browns pass rush, Crosby would be a perfect fit for Pittsburgh's aggressive style. But what about the division? Well, a Crosby-Watt duel could really shake things up in the AFC North. Right now, the division is pretty competitive, but if the Steelers can somehow add this elite pass rusher, it could push us over the top, especially as we aim to make a serious run in the postseason. Our defense would be more than just a good unit. It would become one of the league's best, capable of winning games on its own. That would take pressure off our offense, which is showing signs of growth but still needs that extra edge, especially in the passing game and in clutch moments. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually happens. The Raiders are still in limbo, and Pittsburgh's front office is known for making bold moves when the timing is right. If a deal comes together, it could be announced at the deadline, which is coming up fast on November 4th. That's when the NFL trade market heats up, and the Steelers have the assets and the cap space to make a splash. It's an exciting time for Steelers fans because we're on the brink of something special, an addition that could define the rest of our season and possibly even our future. Thinking about the playoffs, adding Crosby would not just be about one season. It's about building a core that can contend year after year. His leadership, experience, and relentless motor would elevate the entire defense, helping us take that next step towards a Super Bowl. And if we can keep our offense clicking with a solid run game and improving passing attack, the sky's the limit. The AFC is tough, no doubt, but with a player like Crosby, we'd be sitting at the top of that mountain, looking down at the competition and knowing we've got one of the best defenses in the league. Looking back at recent seasons, the Steelers have been in a bit of a transitional phase. We've seen some flashes of brilliance from our young offensive line, and Kenny Pickett is steadily improving as our quarterback. But the real difference maker has always been our defense, especially the pass rush. Watt has been a force, but adding Crosby would be like putting jet fuel on our flame. It's about creating a defense that's as feared as it is dominant, one that can impose its will on any team in any situation. The AFC North is no walk in the park. Teams like the Ravens and Browns are always lurking, ready to pounce. But with this kind of upgrade on defense, the Steelers could flip the script. Imagine going into the postseason with a top-tier pass rush, forcing turnovers and shutting down the run. That's the kind of recipe that wins championships. And let's not forget, with the recent surge in the betting odds, the sportsbooks are already starting to see the Steelers as a serious contender if this move happens. So, as Steelers fans, we have every reason to be excited about what's on the horizon. It's not just about adding a top-tier pass rusher. It's about re-establishing our identity as a team that's built to win now and in the future. The potential acquisition of Maxx Crosby could be the spark that ignites our championship run, putting us right back in the conversation among the league's elite. We've seen flashes of this potential in recent weeks, and with this addition, the Steelers could become a true powerhouse in the AFC. Now, I want to emphasize how important patience and optimism are right now. The NFL trade deadline is always a whirlwind, and deals can happen quickly. If the Steelers pull this off, it'll be a blockbuster move that fans will be talking about for years. Front office is known for being strategic and bold when the moment calls for it, and right now, acquiring Crosby makes all the sense in the world. It's a move that would send shockwaves through the league and give us a real shot at that elusive sixth Lombardi trophy. In conclusion, Steelers Nation, the potential trade for Maxx Crosby isn't just another headline. It's a statement. It's a signal that the front office is serious about contending, about building a team that can dominate on both sides of the ball. If this happens, it won't just be a game changer. It could be a season-defining moment. We're on the cusp of something special, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Keep your fingers crossed, stay loud, and let's get ready for what might be the most exciting turnaround in Steelers history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Crosby is the missing piece? Would you like to see the Steelers make this aggressive push before the deadline? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers as a whole. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This team is on the rise, and with your passion backing us up, there's no limit to what we can achieve. Let's go Steelers!